What up, LA? This is Barbon coming at you with episode 14 of the Bulletin Board material, and I have Mr. Adel Del Toro here with me. We're going to chop it up a little bit right now and talk some Laker talk. You know, you guys have all been dying to get into it, so we're going to get into it. But first, before we do that, let's go ahead and just introduce ourselves a little bit. Obviously, like I said, I am Rayel Barbon. You can follow me at thebulletinboardmaterial.com. I have all my platforms up there, so if you need to reach me at any of them, just follow me on thebulletinboardmaterial.com, and don't be too shy to subscribe. If you want to go ahead and follow Mr. Adel Del Toro, you can catch him on Twitter under Audeezy_, that's AUDEEZY_, or you can catch him on Instagram under Audeezy with 3 E's _.
Yes, sir.
Yes. What's going on, bro? How you doing today?
Chilling, man. Watching this Portland, Oklahoma City game. Chilling, bro.
Oh, man. That hurts when you're a Laker fan and you're sitting here watching Portland and Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I just want to watch good basketball. That's it.
Yeah, and you can't look at the Lakers for that right now, for sure.
Not at all.
No, not at all, bro. Let's get into it. I mean, I know everybody's been, talking on Twitter and talking everywhere at this point about the dumpster fire that the Lakers have been. But let's get into a little bit of our near future. So right now, obviously, we're coming off 3 straight losses at this point, and the last one being a terrible, terrible loss with our G League squad out there. Yeah. But there's still some reason to be optimistic. Yeah, year one has not gone the way we wanted it to go, but there's still a reason to be optimistic. And we got the offseason right now, and this has been the target. So the last 3 years, this has been the target that we've been trying to pinpoint, right? This is what Magic came in and said, hey, this is what we're working towards. This is what Rob came in and said, this is what we're working towards this summer. So we got LeBron James, the biggest fish in the lake. Now we got to go and add some counterparts, some role players, some partners, whatever you want to call them, right? So, I mean, personally for me, I think we're in a great spot. Yeah, we were terrible this season, but I can't say that this season was solely based off of, just people underperforming. There was a lot of bright spots, but unfortunately there was more injuries than we needed. And I think, honestly, that was the main reason that we were terrible, because if Lonzo wouldn't have gone down, if LeBron wouldn't have gone down, Rondo, B.I. not suspended, Rondo went down for a certain point, B.I. went down for a certain point, Kuz was playing hurt, Josh Hart was playing hurt. I mean, we were battered all season long, so I don't think that we have to do much other than just stay healthy next year. If we can go ahead and get an Anthony Davis, great. But this is something we were talking about earlier on Lakers Raw, where we were talking about the fact that I said that I would not want the Lakers to go ahead and empty our entire farm to get Anthony Davis. I couldn't make a Lonzo, B.I., and Kuz deal for Anthony Davis, and plus whatever other nonsense you want to throw in there. I can't do that. For me, I give them one of the 3, and then I'll throw in some extra stuff. I'll throw in the lottery pick. I'll throw in Josh Hart, a Mo Wagner. I'll throw in all that stuff, but I'm not giving up Kuz. I'm not giving up Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball. I'm not giving any 2 of those up, because at this point, I feel like Kyrie Irving is out the door with the Celtics, and if he is out the door with the Celtics, that's their entire leverage. They're not giving up Jason Tatum. They're not. And you know that the Pelicans, that's what they want. You know that's what they want. For me personally, I think we're in a better position if we don't empty the farm for Anthony Davis, just because we'll be set up for a longer sustainability post-LeBron, rather than LeBron retiring or LeBron moving on to a different place and deciding he wants to go back to Cleveland or whatever he's going to do. But I just think at that point, we're not going to be sitting here as cellar dwellers, We're not going to be...
So you're saying that the young core, the guy we have now, you'd rather keep them than going after Anthony Davis. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying that I don't want them to give up 2 to 3 of those 3 guys. Brandon, Kuz, and Lonzo. Those 3 guys right there. Those to me are our core. So out of those 3 guys, I'm giving them one of those guys, especially if we're throwing in our lottery pick, because I'm pretty sure we're going to get a top 10 pick. They can do whatever they want to do with that. They want to throw in some extra picks, second, third rounders, go ahead. Feel free. You want to throw Mo Wags in there? You want to throw in Josh Hart? Feel free. But I'm not giving up one of those 3. I think that ship sailed on that. And I think the Pelicans know that they screwed up, and that's why, that's why they fired their GM, and that's why they are where they are at this point.
Okay, so if you strike out in free agency, let's say we strike out, we don't get anybody.
Okay.
You're telling me that you're going to go into next season with the same exact squad? I mean, obviously you're going to sign some other veterans or some other key role players, but you want the same exact squad with LeBron next year if you strike out in free agency?
I wouldn't be upset. I would not be. Think about it. Let's think back to when before all the injuries happened. Where were we? We were top 4, right? Top 4 in the West. Right?
Yeah.
We were rolling. We were going through squads. I mean, we beat Golden State on Christmas Day without LeBron. So we weren't doing too shabby. It's once the injuries piled up. You know, it's once LeBron went down for 17 games. It's once Rondo went down, when all these dudes started going down. That's where all the inconsistency started happening. And that's because you have an inconsistent lineup up there. Like, that's part of my argument with Luke. Yeah, Luke hasn't done the best job in the world, but let's think about it. Ty Lue, did he really do the best job in the world? Was he really like some mastermind? No, he was just a yes man, and he kind of just said, hey, LeBron, here's the ball. Everybody else get out of the way and let him do his thing. Right? You don't need to be a mastermind to coach LeBron and a squad, right?
Right.
So I just think that's not something we really need to get into, I guess.
You just got to look at it like this. Anthony Davis is only 25 years old, okay? So you bring him in, and you say you get rid of a young core for him, all 3 guys, Kuz, B.I., and Lonzo. Mm-hmm. You're getting Anthony Davis at 25 years old. I don't even think he's reached his prime yet. He's still going to get into his prime. Yeah. And by the time LeBron leaves from his contract at in 4 years, Anthony Davis will be 29 years old. So you still have Anthony Davis to build around once LeBron is gone. You know what I'm saying? So you're not left without anybody, any young guys. Because you still got Anthony Davis, which I'll take Anthony Davis over Lonzo, Kuz, and B.I. at this point, because we don't know what these guys are going to be. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Lonzo, look, he's injury prone right now. We could say he's injury prone. His ankles, he's got glass ankles.
Yeah.
Kuz, he's 24 years old already. I think he's already kind of hit his ceiling, what he's going to be.
Okay.
He is what he is. He's a scorer. That's it. I mean, to me, he's a 6 man off the bench who's going to give you energy and is going to score.
I agree.
Ingram is the only one that I think for sure he's definitely going to be an all-star, and I would love to keep him around. I don't think he's as injury prone as Lonzo, but I'd rather have Anthony Davis right now at 25 years old with LeBron and then build around them two at the moment. I think you have a better chance at the playoffs and at the championship with Anthony Davis and role players around him. All you got to do is get some shooters and don't get these Lance Stevenson type guys. Get some good shooters, Kyle Korver, JJ Redick, put them around LeBron and Anthony Davis, and then I think that's a solid squad. If you bring in the young core again, look, there's no question Lonzo might get hurt again. You know, LeBron is a year older now. He's at 35, 36 years old now. He's not getting any younger. You know what I'm saying? Like,
true.
How long can you wait for these young guys to mature and to get into their prime? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to win now with LeBron. That's the whole point.
But here's my problem with that. Okay, so let's say we go your route, and let's say we go and what's your ideal situation? So we give up Kuz, Lonzo, and Ingram. You're okay with that? They say those 3 guys, we want your lottery pick. We want throw in some second rounders or whatever the case is. That's essentially what you're saying, right?
Obviously, my preference would be to give them two of the guys. Say you give them Lonzo and B.I. and you got to keep Kuz, or give them Kuz and B.I. and you got to keep Lonzo. Like, I want to at least keep one of them, and I would love to keep Ingram, but I know they're going to want Ingram in the deal no matter what.
Yeah, so okay.
If that's the case, I'll take Lonzo.
But I'm saying let's go with our max. So, like, to me, I'm not giving up 2 of those guys. Like, to me, it's no. Like, if they say, hey, I want Brandon Ingram and I want Kyle Kuzma, I'm like, no. I want Lonzo Ball. I want Kyle. No. 2 of those 3 guys cannot go, in my opinion. So you're saying that if those 3 guys are included in the deal, you're good with it. Like, at the worst case. And you're
2 guys?
Pull the trigger. No, 3 guys.
Oh, 3 guys. If it gets to that point where negotiations and they're kind of like saying, hey, we want all 3 to make it happen, I'll do it. I mean, we got to keep Josh Hart, which is a role player. Yeah. Obviously, we don't have Zubac anymore, so that kills that. But if that's what it takes to get Anthony Davis, and then I'm sure you still have a max slot. I'm not sure how the contract salaries would work, but if you trade for him, I think you still have that max free agency money, so you can still bring in another guy to add next to Anthony Davis and LeBron.
True. But here's my thing, though. If we were to do that, so now we have LeBron James, and we have Anthony Davis, and then we have a bunch of role players around. We have Josh Hart. We have whoever they pick up, a JJ Redick or whoever it is, right? So let's move forward 3 years from now. So now you have LeBron 3 years older than he currently is. He's already sustained his first major injury. So what's to say he doesn't get injured next year, and he doesn't go down the Kobe route where he just gets that major injury and he just never recovers from it. So now you're stuck with a LeBron who's a shell of himself, or even, let's say, 70% LeBron, which is still pretty damn good. But now you got 70% LeBron and you got Anthony Davis. But now we're 4 years down the road, and LeBron says, I'm out. Deuces. I'm gone. Right? So he says, I'm gone. Now you're stuck with Anthony Davis and a bunch of role players. Does that sound familiar to you? Because that sounds like the New Orleans Pelicans to me, right? And how far has Anthony Davis really taken them? That's my whole like, because this is the thing that I've noticed and the thing that I've kind of harped on. LeBron left Cleveland a mess to Miami. He left Miami to Cleveland. He left Miami a mess. He left Cleveland to LA. He left Cleveland a mess. And he leaves them to the point where they have nothing. Like, look at Cleveland. Last year, they were sitting there holding on to that pick just because they kind of were scared that LeBron was going to leave. And now look at them. You got Jordan Clarkson leading the squad pretty much at this point, right?
Yep.
My thing is, yeah, we're kind of if we do that and we move on with these guys and we say, hey, I'm giving up 2 of the 3, or I'm giving up 3 of all of them pretty much, then where are we at 3 years down the road? Because 3 years down the road is not that long from now. I know to us it's like, oh yeah, whatever. It's been 6 years and we're sitting here hungry for a championship, but that's the difference between a LeBron team and a Golden State squad. Because think of Golden State. The only reason Golden State had any sustainability is because they drafted well and they've grown that core. Draymond, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry. Those are the 3 main guys that they've kind of brought on, and they haven't let them go at all. They've been filling in pieces here and there. They got KD, got lucky with that. They got lucky with Boogie. But even if they didn't have Boogie and KD, they're still probably the top team in the West at this point. So my problem is, if you do that, where are we at? Where are we at 3 years from now? We got LeBron saying bye-bye, and here we are sitting here with Lonzo Ball, or not even Lonzo Ball. If they give up all 3, which you know they're going to want everybody. So at that point, we got nobody except Anthony Davis and some role players.
Well, that's first off, we're not the New Orleans Pelicans, we're the Los Angeles Lakers. So that's a big difference. And at the same time, we have Anthony Davis still at 29 years old, which is still like in the peak of his prime.
But as a big man?
As a big man, still 29 years old. I mean, you want Boogie at 28, and he has a torn Achilles, bro. Come on.
But I want him for 3 years.
Okay.
And I want him on a cheaper contract because I'm not giving him max money. I feel like the fact that he's injured, we could get him at a little bit cheaper to the point where maybe we can still add, a Klay Thompson or a Kawhi or, somebody like that. So my whole and that's kind of what we were going on with Lakers Raw, right? We were going back and forth. You guys were clowning me because I want Boogie. I want you, Boogie. All right. Just know who's got your back on Lakers Raw, bro.
No, we'll get back to that. But real quick, I was saying 29 years old, Anthony Davis in the peak of his prime, and LeBron's gone, right?
Yeah.
If the so-called narrative is out there that nobody wants to play with LeBron, and he's finally gone from LA, and Anthony Davis is the star to build around, I'm sure there'll be guys that want to line up to play with Anthony Davis at 29 years old in LA.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that, but that's the kind of the same thing we've been saying about Kobe, about LeBron, and what's the narrative right now? If LeBron can't lure somebody here, how the hell is Anthony Davis going to lure anybody here? If the narrative right now is LeBron, nobody wants to play with him, why would anybody want to come to play with Anthony Davis? Especially if the kid hasn't even gotten his team past the second round, and he's a baller. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, on NBA 2K, he is in my lineup every freaking time. I create a team, he is in there. He's my 4 every time, because you know who's at my 5?
Who?
Boogie Cousins.
Wow. I mean, we're probably going to sign Boogie just for that.
I hope so, dude, and I'll be front row and center. Well, not front row and center. I mean, like, front row in the 300 seats.
Okay, that'll work.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can afford right now.
No, listen, don't get me wrong. I like Boogie. I've always thought he was good. He's always been a top 3 center in the league before he got hurt. And with that Achilles injury, he's 28 years old now. Okay. So it's I know he plays low to the ground, and I know he doesn't kind of, he's a high flyer. It might work out for him for a couple more years. But he got the veterans minimum or whatever it was in Golden State, and he's gonna ask for way more money. And I'm just not comfortable giving him a 2 or 3 year deal worth $20 million. And I'm sure some team is gonna offer him.
For sure.
Even if it's a 1 year, $25 million deal, like someone's gonna offer him that. And I'm not comfortable giving him that and him being the star next to LeBron. I just don't see it.
Are you comfortable if we have a team option in there?
Yeah, I mean, look, if I'll give him a 1 year deal at $20 million if we strike out on plan A, plan B, and he's plan C for me. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I'm just not going to give him and go right after him like, hey, at 12 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to call him and say, Boogie, we want you. And I'm sure Rob.
Hey, hold on. I hope you're not calling Boogie at 12 in the morning talking about I want you.
No. No, like at 9 p.m. in LA because it'll be New York time, obviously. Oh, okay. But I'm sure Majinka's gonna call him and they're gonna say, "Hey, we got a big name, we got Boogie." You know what I'm saying? And I hope that's not the deal because I hope they go after these other bigger guys that are the bigger names that like KD, Kyrie, and all them. I just think that Boogie should be like a plan C. And I know everybody on Lakers Raw was saying he should be plan Z.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind him. I won't. I mean, 1 year, $20 million, I'll take him.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, for me, Boogie's not plan A. Boogie, to me, is plan B. Plan C to me is like Vucevic, Mirotic. All those cats are plan C to me.
Vucevic over Boogie?
I'd take Boogie over Vucevic.
Oh, no way.
Oh, yeah. Like, you're talking about right now, but you're talking about DeMarcus Cousins within the first year of his Achilles injury. Everybody knows that an Achilles takes over a year for you to get back to shape. So I'll take a 90% Boogie over Nikolai Vucevic.
He was an all-star this year, though.
That's great. How many times has Boogie been an all-star? More than one time.
Pre-Achilles injury.
Pre-Achilles injury. But I would love him to have an all-star appearance post-Achilles injury. What I'm saying is, so look, this is the reason I say this. So let's say we have Boogie Cousins, right? So let's say we're on plan B. We strike out on Kawhi. We strike out on, who else are we talking here? KD. Let's say we go ahead and we get Kyrie Irving. Let's say Kyrie wants to come back and rewind,
hey.
Right? So let's say he wants to rewind time and come back and, make up with LeBron and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So now we got Kyrie. And honestly, I would say he's probably playing the 2, even though it's positionless basketball at this point. But
yeah,
now we have Kyrie, and we go and we sign Boogie to an under a max free agent deal. We're still obviously going to pay him. But now we line up Kyrie Irving next to Lonzo Ball, because Lonzo can pick up the defensive slack. Now you got Kyrie Irving as your offensive threat who can take the shots. Then you don't have to see LeBron here chucking up these 35-footers. Now you got LeBron sitting there distributing. You got Brandon Ingram. You got Kyle Kuzma coming off the bench. And you got Boogie down low. Like, I'm not even saying, like, if we don't get Boogie, I'll take an Al Horford. I'm okay with Al Horford. I'm okay with, who else we got in here? We got DeAndre Jordan. I'm okay with either of those cats. Because I feel like the center position, you don't need him to be a 30-point guy. If he is, great. But if we can get a solid 18 and 10 guy down there, I'm cool with that, because you'll have Kyrie chucking up shots. You'll have Brandon going ISO. You'll have LeBron probably deteriorating, but still able to, stack up his stats and dish off. You got Lonzo sitting there picking up the defensive slat. You still keep Josh Hart. You still got Kuzma off the bench giving you that firepower off the bench. And then you fill in. You can fill in with Mirotic. You can fill in with a JJ Redick. A Marco Bellinelli. Do I love Marco Bellinelli? I was kind of mad that we didn't. He's a shooter. He plays tough. He's gritty. He's that guy that's going to do the dirty work. So I'm okay with that. See, this is why you guys say, oh, Boogie for Anthony Davis. It's not Boogie for Anthony Davis. It's Boogie, B.I., Lonzo, Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart for Anthony Davis. Now we're talking about if LeBron leaves in 3 or 4 years and you still got Kyrie, you still got Boogie, you still got Zoe, B.I., Kuz. You can say that sounds lovely. That's okay.
Can I keep it real with you? Can I keep it 100 with you?
Keep it 1,000.
Okay. At this point, I've watched every Laker game this season and last season and the year before, and I just don't think that our young guys are that good. Like, I might get flamed for this, but they're not as good as us Laker fans make them seem. Honestly, Kuzma, like I told you, he is what he is. He's not gonna get. I mean, he might get better working on the offseason, getting on the block with Kobe or something, and I just don't see him improving anymore. Okay. Hart, he's injured obviously, and when he's healthy, he's a solid rotation player. Like, he's really good.
Agreed.
Lonzo, to me, he's improved vastly, and I know he hasn't played that much, but his defense is top defense of all point guards
for sure.
And his shot has started falling. He was playing his best basketball of his career before he got hurt.
Yeah.
And Ingram, like I said, he's going to be an all-star, but I just don't think that these guys are the guys to catapult us to get us into the championship and into the playoffs.
I agree.
But you're saying let's keep all these guys and add Boogie. Like, that's going to make a difference.
Is Brandon Ingram a solid 2 or 3 guy? He might not be the 1, but is he a solid 2 or 3 guy?
He could be a solid 2, but right now I think he's a solid 3.
Yeah, for sure. So if we run into next season, we get Kyrie. Let's leave Boogie out. Let's say we just get Kyrie. That's the only big name free agent we get. So now you got Kyrie, you got B.I., and you got LeBron. That's, honestly, to me, that's a solid team, because something happened in Brandon this year that...
Oh, yeah, he clicked.
He clicked, and he's just like, I don't give a... And I honestly, in the last stretch of post All-Star break, I feel like something clicked in him where he reminded himself that he was the leader on this team last year. And even though LeBron is there, it's okay for him to step up, because something clicked in him to where he was waving LeBron off when LeBron was calling for the ball. the whole sitting there after the game and just making sure that he's dapping up all his guys going into the locker room after a terrible loss. To me, that's that light that we've been waiting for, and he's been averaging over 20 the last, I don't know how long of a stretch, like last 15 or 20 games. But to me, I feel like that's something that's clicked with him. And he might not be your number one guy because I don't think he's the number one guy, but I think he could be a solid number two guy once he hits that sweet spot. Right now, I think he's a solid, more than a solid three guy. But what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that the core are those guys that we think they are. I've always said Lonzo is not going to be the guy that we think. He's not going to be Jason Kidd. But Lonzo is going to make everybody better all the time, no matter.
I agree with that.
And he's the key. He's the key to the ignition. He's not the motor, but he's the key. He's going to make everybody better. And then throw LeBron in there. I mean, LeBron supposedly makes everybody better, but I didn't see it this year, right? But I don't know. I mean, post LeBron, we're just set up for longer. We're talking about now we're set up for the next 10 years rather than for the next 3 years. Because that's what we're right now. The plan you guys are talking about, we're talking about mortgaging everything for the next 3 years. And I don't know about you, but I plan on being a Laker fan for the next 3+ years.
Forever.
So and I don't want to. I don't want to be sitting here hating LeBron's guts because he left us here with nothing, and we got Marco Bellinelli, and maybe we re-signed Jordan Clarkson to run up some.
It's just the thing is when all these guys are 27, 28, and they're in their prime, they're not going to be as good as we're making them seem to be. Like, they're not going to be great basketball players. They're going to be good,
but solid. They don't need to be. They don't need to be though.
Well, when LeBron is gone, we're left with Hart and the Kuz and the Lonzos and the BIs, and like I said, BI is going to be an all-star. Lonzo might be an all-star, but everyone else is kind of just solid role players. That's what we're left with.
But remember, we're also signing one max guy, so throw in whoever you want. But let's say it's Kyrie, so it's not just those guys. Now we got Kyrie and we got a more developed core. And who knows? I mean, if we luck out and get another guy down the road, who knows? We could probably do that too. But 4 years from now, I wouldn't be too mad if we got Kyrie, Lonzo, BI, Kuz, and whoever else, Josh Hart, whoever else is still sitting around. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'd rather that than Anthony Davis and some role players. You know what I mean? And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I know you guys were grilling me about the Boogie thing, but Boogie, I want you in LA, bro. Where's what's his face?
Danny?
No. Danny. Yeah, Danny, where you at, bro? I need you to back me up.
He's about to go get Melo.
Oh, yeah, no. You know what? Hold on, let's cut Danny out of this. I forgot all about it. Was it? Wait, hold on. Doesn't Javi want Melo too?
Javi too, yeah.
Javi wants Melo. Oh, Javi, yep. We're gonna have to put you on blast, bro, because that Carmelo. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, that's where I gotta go. I can't give up 3 guys. I can't. That was a deal that we made this season, and I feel like we would be fools to go back to that, to revisit that deal. I feel like that should have been a deal. It's like, hey, take it or leave it right now. After this, we're not moving past one guy. Because the difference to me is that lottery pick. It might not be important to us, but it damn sure is important to the Pelicans.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right?
For sure. But if it's a top 5 pick that we end up getting, dude, they're going to want that hands down. They're going to say, give me that pick, and we'll take one of the young guys or 2 of them and call it a deal. You know what I mean?
Well, because they're going to get their own lottery pick most likely, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? So they're going to have 2 lottery picks. Let's say they add Kuzma, because Kuzma's the guy that has to go. If one of them has to go, to me, I think Kuzma's the guy who goes just because, yeah, they might want Brandon, but I think Kuzma would be okay just because I think he's just so marketable.
Yeah, I agree.
Kuzma, out of the 3, Kuz is the one who's got the Mamba mentality, who's aligned himself with Kobe's brand and all that, and I just think he'll sell tickets. As opposed to Lonzo and Brandon Ingram. I don't think Pelicans fans are going to be all super excited because they got Brandon Ingram. I love Brandon Ingram, but that's because, I'm a Laker fan and Brandon Ingram is the shit. But
you know what's crazy? Every day, not every day, but every once in a while, I'll look at, like, players' ages and stuff, and I'm like, dude, Brandon Ingram is only 21 years old.
But it seems like he's been with the team forever.
Yes.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
He's already, like, clicking. So, can you imagine when he's 25?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what 25 would be how many years from now?
4 years from now.
4 years.
And I get that. That's what I'm saying. I would like to keep BI. Like, Ingram's going to be that dude. But if the Pelicans call and say we want BI and your pick and give us Hart with it, like, I got to give it up.
If it's BI, if it's BI, Hart, the pick, and then whatever else they want to throw in, I'm cool with that. But it's got to be, preferably for me, I'm saying it's got to be Kuz before it's BI. Yeah. It's got to be,
for sure.
Honestly, to me, the order I would take him in is Kuz, BI, Lonzo.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if people think that's crazy or not, but to me, I think that's the order you got to go in.
Yeah, for sure.
If they say BI and then whatever else, I'm cool with that. As much as I don't want to let go of Brandon Ingram, but I'm not giving up Kuz and Brandon Ingram, and I'm not giving up Brandon Ingram and Zoe. Not at all. That's ridiculous. We've already proven that the Pelicans don't know what they're doing, so let's take advantage of them.
Right.
So, and then, kind of speaking on the young core and all that stuff as well, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but Brandon Ingram, his transformation this year is the biggest reason that I'm saying we can't give up 2 of the 3. I said this when the AD deal was going down, or was supposedly going down. I said that the worst thing that the Pelicans could do was not pull the trigger, because if these guys got into the playoffs, which we're not going to get into the playoffs, their value is going to skyrocket. And then you don't have to give up 3 of those guys, because now they're more valuable. Now 1 or 2 of them will get the deal done. But at this point, I think Brandon Ingram's just, without the playoffs, kind of just surpassed what I thought he would get to at this point.
So you're saying he's untradeable at this point?
No, not at all. No, I think he's completely tradable, but I don't think a package deal with Brandon Kuz and all of that. That's the deal that I'm saying. I would trade Brandon Ingram for Anthony Davis, but I'm not trading the other 2 with BI.
So let me ask you this: putting your bias aside, your point of bias, being a Laker fan, obviously.
Okay.
Do you think that Ingram has surpassed Tatum as far as potential?
Easy, dude. Easy. Dude, I think Kuz has passed up Tatum. I think
that's a stretch.
Dude, go back to last year. I have a small clip where I was sitting there talking about Tatum and Kuz. And I sat there and said, Kuz is a better player than Tatum. And he was just getting the hype. But think about why these guys get the hype. You already see the conspiracy that goes around the league and the fact that they blackball the Lakers with all their deals and stuff. Who do you think puts all these narratives out? Everybody else. Yeah, of course they don't want Brandon to be that good, and of course they don't want Kuzma to be that good, because it kills the Laker brand. Yeah. To me, I think both of them have passed Jason Tatum. And I'm not saying that Jason Tatum won't, jump over Kuzma, but I don't think at this point I don't see it. I think he had a nice run last year, and I think he's gonna be a nice player, but I don't think he's gonna be that guy that we think. Just because, physically, there's nothing crazy about him. You look at Brandon's wingspan. Dude, Brandon's wingspan is ridiculously he's like a freaking mutant out of X-Men, dude. Right? Yeah. Same thing with KD. Jason Tatum, you look at him physically, there's nothing really that jumps out at you. He's got the athletic ability and all that stuff, but at a certain point that kind of dies down. So he's got to develop the jump shot, right? Yeah. And I think Brandon can develop the jump shot, but I think even in his later years, that length will be there. That length that bothers guys on the defensive end, that length that gives him that extra little when he goes to the basket. Yeah. I think that's always going to be there, and that's something you can't teach.
And I think BI is actually, he's 21, but I still think he's growing into his body. Like, he's still getting stronger, he's still getting bigger. Yeah. But the only thing that I feel that Tatum has over Ingram is the playoff experience he had last season.
Okay.
With that playoff experience and the way he performed, everyone was looking at him like, "Whoa, Tatum is here." Yeah. I don't know if you remember when he dunked on LeBron. You remember that?
I remember that like it was.
He even looked at him like, I'm here. Like, honestly, like Tatum playing so well in the playoffs, I think he kind of, everybody looked at him and said, "Wow, Tatum's that dude," Yeah. And I think that's what he has over Ingram, because Ingram, the whole world hasn't seen him play unless you're a Laker fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So I feel like Tatum has that over Ingram, and that's why Tatum is so hyped.
Yeah.
And I don't think the hype's going to die down anytime soon. Even though Ingram has played so well these last 2 months, he deserves it, but I still think Tatum gets the notch over him.
But you know what? We're not missing the playoffs next year. So Brandon is going to get a taste next year. So I'm hoping he's still with us, but he's going to get a taste next year if he's still on the Lakers. There's no way in hell that we're going to go ahead and miss the playoffs next year. I'll put down my fucking house at this point. I'll put down my house. Oh, dude, it's a bet. Somebody else who has a house, bet me, and we'll put titles up. All right, we'll put our freaking mortgage titles up. I'm okay with that. That's how confident I am. And if it doesn't happen, then you might just never see me again.
Yeah, that might happen.
Yeah, that might happen, because I'll be like in Mexico chilling. I'll switch over the deed to somebody else, and I'll be like, I don't know, ¿El Barbon quién?
¿El Barbon quién?
No, ¿sabe quién? I'll shave the beard and everything.
You went missing with Magic. Magic took off with you.
Oh, Magic, dude, get Magic out of here as well. Like, these off-season moves are great, but let's go kind of through who is available, right? So let's just kind of talk about who. Obviously, the sexiest guys of them all are going to be Kawhi, Kyrie, Clay. Those are probably the top 3 at this point, right? Am I missing anybody?
Kyrie, Kawhi, Kevin Durant.
Oh, Kevin Durant. Yeah, of course.
Klay Thompson. I don't know if that's
Yeah, I got Klay in there. Yeah. So those four are probably like the top tier guys, right? The A level.
Yeah.
Right. So we got the A level there. So now let's go through our B guys, right? So I would put Boogie in the B guys. I know you probably keep him in the C guys. So I'll patronize you and I'll say he's a C guy. I'll put him next to Al Horford and Nikolai Mirotic and all that.
That works. Yep. That works.
Terrible.
What about Jimmy Butler?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. So where do you put? I put him as a B guy. He's definitely a B guy to me.
Yeah, B guy. For sure,
right?
B guy.
Vucevic.
B guy.
Okay, he's a B guy. Marc Gasol, I think he's a C guy.
He's a C.
C. Julius Randle.
C minus guy.
Ooh, C minus. Oh, I don't know. I'd probably say
either way, he ain't coming back. Aaron Mintz ain't bringing him back.
Oh, I don't know, man. What if he signs with Clutch?
Right.
Let the rumors start. Al Horford.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, right. So then we move on to like DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan, I think he's a solid B minus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, let's leave him as a B guy.
What about Tobias Harris?
I think he's a C guy.
I would take him as a B guy, to be honest.
So he would be your second scorer. So if he was the number 2 on our team, you'd be cool with that?
Never mind. He's a C.
Right?
Kemba Walker?
Kemba, I think, is a B guy.
For sure, he's a B.
Yeah. I don't want Kemba, to be honest, but we'll see. Crazier things have happened. So we'll put him as a B. Middleton, I haven't seen enough of Middleton to really make an evaluation on him. But, I mean, from everything I hear, he sounds like a B guy, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What about Ariza as a C, solid C guy? You got JJ Redick, C guy. Mirotic, a C guy probably?
What about your boy ice in my veins, D'Lo?
Oh, D'Lo, man. D'Lo. Dude. I mean, if Julius is a C guy...
Nah, hell no. D'Lo's a B guy.
B minus. I'll give it to you. He's a
B minus.
B minus. I think, the East is watered down, bro. So I'm not... And he barely made it. So let's not...
But he's still, like, one of the top point guards in the East. Regardless if it's watered down, he's still one of the top guards in the East.
Hey, dude, and I'm one of the tallest guys in my family. So I don't know how much that really says. All five of me, All right, so we're good with that. So let's play a hypothetical game, right? So let's say we don't get KD. KD's probably not coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Kawhi is not coming, right? I think Kyrie is like I think he's a real possibility. Kyrie.
I don't know. I think so too. I think Stephen A. Smith actually said Kyrie is a 40% chance of going to the Lakers. I know it's Stephen A. But still, he's in the know somehow.
What? This is incredulous.
Stay off the weed.
Well, he was the same guy that said that KD was coming here. Remember?
Yeah, he did say that.
And he had connections with his family or some BS or whatever. But
yeah,
okay. I mean, I could see that. So let's say Kyrie's a possibility. Klay, I can't see the Golden State letting Klay go. I really can't.
No, I don't think so either. If they lowball him and they don't offer him a max contract, he's gone because he's ready to get paid.
Yeah, he warned them already. He already warned them.
So if they kind of lowball him and give him a low offer, not even a max, for the first team calling him with that max offer, you better believe it's the Los Angeles Lakers.
I hope so, man. I hope so, and I hope his dad's sitting right in the meeting.
And to be honest, to me, Klay Thompson's the A guy.
Yeah, I'll say that.
No doubt. Like you bring him in next to LeBron, I think he's the perfect player to play next to LeBron.
Oh, for sure, because he takes all the pressure off LeBron. So let's say, where are we going with Klay? We're saying he's a possibility or not?
Like I said, I think it's a 50-50 coin toss because if the Warriors lowball him, he's gonna say I'm gone. So it could happen. The Warriors might want to say, we prefer Draymond Green over you. We want to give him max money, which I think is baloney. That's dumb. If you give Draymond max money and you don't give it to Klay, I'm just saying.
I think they're gonna take care of both of them, but I think most likely
they can.
Well, they can if they let go of KD, and they can if they don't re-sign.
That's a whole other can of worms we're opening there. If they end up even KD go somewhere else and they can afford all three I don't know. KD is also a 50-50 shot. I think he can come to the Lakers too. So I don't know.
Well, yeah, and I mean, we're not
It's
saying
all hypothetical.
We're not saying that none of these guys are going to come here, but I'm just saying right now, if we're going 51-49, then we're going to go ahead and lean towards the other way. So I at this point, I'd probably say Klay. I'll give him the tiebreaker just because he has the loyalty to Golden State. So let's just say Klay won't sign with us, right? Boogie's a possibility. Jimmy B, I think, is a possibility. Vucevic, Gasol, Julius, I
don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think I love it. I think one of the few people that was campaigning for this fool to stay here, but that didn't happen. And I think everybody else is a possibility. Ariza, Redick, all these guys, Kemba. Yeah. I think all these guys are a possibility. So I think the guys that we're kind of eliminating are going to be KD, Kawhi, and Klay, right?
I don't want to eliminate Kawhi, even though I mean at this point I do think it's Toronto or the Clippers for him. But I think if the Lakers call him and he kind of talks to all, I don't know if really he wants to play with LeBron, but I think there's a possibility that Kawhi might, give the Lakers a shot, depending on what they pitch to him. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and I mean, honestly, I'd hope so, because out of everybody, I would want Kawhi.
Yeah.
More than KD, more than Klay, more than dude. If Kawhi can jump on this team, whoo, my God, dude.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got that. So at this point, let's say we're just moving into next season. Let's say we don't move on Anthony Davis. Now we're lining up Kyrie at the 1 or the 2, whatever you want to call it. But you're lining up in the backcourt. You're lining Kawhi up with Lonzo, and then you're bringing the same team out. So other than maybe center. So center, who do we fill in there? Because I would be okay with even with like an Al Horford or a DeAndre Jordan. But I don't know. What do you think?
At that point, I wouldn't mind Boogie to fill in that spot if he comes in for cheap or he takes that 1-year deal.
Okay.
Vucevic is an all-star. I'll take Vucevic to fill that center spot. He might be a little pricey. Marc Gasol, you mentioned, might not be that pricey.
No, he might not, because he's at the tail end of his career, and he might be chasing the ring, right?
So he might work. Al Horford might work. He's chasing the ring too.
Yeah.
DeAndre Jordan, he's still young.
Yeah.
And his last contract with the Mavericks was $22 million for 1 year. I don't know if he's looking to get paid or if he's looking to sign something like more than 2 or 3 years at this point.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind DeAndre Jordan.
Oh yeah, if we can't get. Well, honestly, at this point, if we can't get AD, I would be okay signing DeAndre. I think DeAndre would probably be at the top of my list, and then after that, I'd probably go Al Horford or Gasol. I just think Vucevic is looking for a payday, especially coming off the All-Star. I think he's looking to get paid, and I don't think that's something we should definitely even entertain. And then at that point, we got to fill in with shooters, right? So who are we filling in? We got Ariza, Redick, even Tobias is in there, but Tobias is probably not realistic. Rudy Gay's in there.
Danny Green. Danny Green is good. He'd be perfect too.
I'll take Danny Green. Dude, if we can get Danny Green and Marco Bellinelli,
Terrence Ross,
I would take. Oh yeah, I'd definitely take those 3 guys. So I think, and imagine, so we don't get AD, we fill in this couple shooters, let's say Bellinelli and Danny Green. Okay. We get those 2 guys. We add a Marc Gasol or an Al Horford, and now you're lining up the core in there with LeBron and with a Kyrie. Dude, that team looks pretty stacked to me. You're not even
bad.
No, it's not, because at that point you're probably moving Kuz into the bench rotation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That'd work out well.
Right. That would be a nice team next year.
What about? Let me ask you this one: would you rather have Rondo back with the 1-year deal, or would you rather give that to Derrick Rose?
I think I probably got to stick with Rondo.
Really?
Just because Rondo's been there. The thing is, if you add all these guys, then you're not struggling for firepower at that point. And I think that was our biggest problem this year, is that we had too many guys who couldn't score. McGee, you had Rondo, Lonzo struggled. Who else? Josh Hart went cold for like half the season. I just don't think you had any easy buckets outside of LeBron and maybe Ingram towards the end.
Yeah.
But I think if you can add these guys, I think that it works. I do think because I've always liked Rondo. I've always been a big Rondo guy.
Yeah.
So I'm obviously a little biased, but I think he's the perfect guy to kind of settle into that backup role and just kind of make everything gel and move.
Yeah, and I think he helped out all these young guys. I was reading, into the season where he was helping them with video and watching all the their highlights and how to kind of watch how to watch video. Period. That he taught them. So he was a good vet to have around. But just have you seen him play defense? It's bad. It's bad.
I mean, most of our team was really bad.
Yeah, but it's bad. And then I don't think Derrick Rose will sit courtside with a fan and not sit with his teammates on the bench. I'm just saying.
But dude, Derrick Rose doesn't play much defense.
He hustles though. I've watched him play, and he moves his feet.
Yeah, well, I hustle, so sign me.
Yeah.
I can use the money.
Yeah.
Rondo has definitely helped the young core as far as studying film and all that stuff. And I remember Doc Rivers used to say that was one of the biggest problems they had when they were with the Celtics. The fact that Rondo watched so much film and his IQ was just so high that he would constantly butt heads with Doc Rivers. Yep. And kind of, there was always that thing where like Doc would come in and stop at practice and say, oh, we got to do this and do that. And Rondo would come in and be like, no, but we got to do this and we got to do that and blah, blah, blah. And then there was this whole like interaction.
Yeah.
That brings me to the point of these rumors going around that Doc Rivers might be in the loop as far as, future Laker coaches. And I think, who was the other guy that they were mentioning as well? Monty Williams and also Alvin Gentry. So, I mean, we got kind of the roster down and we've kind of whittled down what we would want and, what's realistic and what's not. But as far as a coach, obviously, Luke's not coming back. I would be surprised if Luke came back. Yeah. I mean, I would have minded if he came back, but I would be surprised if he did.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, somebody's got to take the fall, and Luke's going to be the guy who takes the fall for this season, unfortunately. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, what do we do? Well, who are we moving on to?
Obviously, Monty Williams is the name that's being thrown around. But the first name that was Doc Rivers. I love that idea. I mean, I just don't see him and the Clippers parting ways because they have 2 max slots also, and I think Doc Rivers is going to want to be around for that. And Jerry West, I don't think want to let him go unless they want to go a different direction. And some of these free agents say we want this coach or that coach in order to sign. Then I can see Doc Rivers leaving. But he'd be an ideal coach for me to come to the Lakers. Him, number one, and then Alvin Gentry. I love Alvin Gentry. The job he's doing in New Orleans right now. I think he'd be perfect with this team. Yeah. And not to mention he loves Anthony Davis, loves him too. So, but also Anthony Davis loves Monty Williams. They have a good relationship too.
Monty, to me, I can't do Monty. I think Monty is just Luke 2.0. I think Monty kind of falls into the yes man role. Yeah. I think he kind of line him up with Ty Lue. You kind of line him up with Luke Walton. All these guys that don't have enough equity to kind of counter LeBron. I think Doc would be perfect just because LeBron would respect Doc enough to just lay back and let him do what he's got to do, right?
Right.
And he'll feel comfortable taking his hands off the wheel a little bit, right? As opposed to like Luke and all these other guys. Unless, LeBron that's what he wants. Maybe LeBron wants, a guy who's just going to pretty much bend to his will and pretty much co-sign whatever he says. Right. But I think Doc Rivers would be cool. I like Alvin Gentry. I don't know if I feel like that might go the same way that Kobe ran into D'Antoni. Like, remember before D'Antoni came, LeBron was D'Antoni, he's the greatest and blah 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 and this and that. And then D'Antoni joined the team and D'Antoni pieced out and you didn't hear a peep from LeBron. Not from LeBron. You didn't hear a peep from Kobe. Yeah. Like, not at all. Because that, I think at that point he kind of saw behind the curtains and he didn't like what he saw.
Yeah.
There was not enough success in there for him to say, okay, I see why he's doing it. Yeah, he had those good Phoenix teams, but those Phoenix teams didn't do much other than get to the Western Conference Finals, right? I believe that was the furthest they went.
Yeah.
I think they lost to the Mavs that year or something.
I don't remember.
Honestly, to me, if Nate McMillan was available, super down. David Fizdale, to me, is a guy that I would love to have. Obviously, that's not going to be a possibility right now.
Those are guys that we're talking about that actually have jobs right now. So, out of the coaches that are actually available, who do you think that from being available, who do you think we can go after that's a solid coach?
I mean, you kind of go back to the Mark Jacksons and the Ty Lues and all those guys. Are they really better than Luke?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, the last game I know it was your birthday. Oh, actually, you know what? Happy birthday, everybody. Odell turned 22, right? 22 you said?
I wish.
32. So Mr. Aldella turned 32 yesterday. So happy birthday to you.
I
know it was official because I said it on Twitter. No, I didn't say it on Twitter. So it's not.
You didn't shout me out on Twitter. Damn,
my bad. I thought the text would be a little bit more intimate.
It was.
I don't know if you had a chance to watch any of the game yesterday. I know you were partying it up on your birthday, but Mark Jackson I remembered how much I can't stand Mark Jackson. Like, I was for Mark Jackson this offseason, but just because I hadn't really paid too much attention to him. All the stuff about, the beef in it with Golden State's front office and all that stuff to me was a turnoff. But then hearing him yesterday, dude, Mark Jackson could not have sounded more desperate yesterday. He had his nose so far up LeBron James behind that this dude could have easily struck blood. Like, easily, bro. This fool was red-nosing it to LeBron James. You can't do that. LeBron James. He was sitting there getting on Rondo. Where was he at? I want to see his comments when LeBron was sitting in Indiana, when he was sitting away from the team.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you his comments were not, this is just completely unacceptable and blah, 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 and this and that, and I really hope that Clutch gets me the Laker job and whatever the case is. Because that's all I heard. All I heard was, LeBron, you hear me? LeBron? Hey, LeBron, you hear who's got your back? It's me. You remember me? Remember Mark? So I don't know if I really would want Mark Jackson.
For me, the only reason why I would not want Mark Jackson is because I ran into him at Nordstrom's in Topanga Mall about 7 or 8 years ago, maybe. But I ran into him and he was looking at shoes, and I ran into him and I was like, "Hey, Mark," I was like, "What's up, man?" And I said, "Mind if I get a picture with you?" And he said, "Oh no, man, I don't do pictures." I was like, "Bruh,
because
I don't even know why. I don't even know why I asked for a picture, to be honest." But now I'm thinking, I'm like, dude, this dude better not be the next Laker coach. I'll never forgive him for that.
Yeah, so I think at this point we're both in agreement. Mark Jackson is not the guy for us, but the coach is like a toss-up to me, man. It's such a toss-up. I don't know. I don't really know what's going to happen with that. That's going to really tell you a lot about what Rob and Magic are doing. Because if Rob and Magic sit there and put a yes man in there, then you know they're just literally bending to everything LeBron wants. Like easily, right? And I don't think you could do that with LeBron on his last legs. That I got a lot of heat on Twitter for saying that LeBron was on the decline. I'm not saying he's at the bottom of the decline, but LeBron, we have LeBron up here. This is his plateau. And then you got LeBron on the decline. He's like right here.
I agree.
Yeah, he's starting at this point, right?
Yeah.
At this point, with everything that's gone on this season, he looks like he's running a farewell tour, like a 4-year-long farewell tour. Does it not?
Somewhat. I can kind of see that.
I mean, it's just like everything, his narrative and everything, the way he's playing, and he's kind of playing it like, oh, this is the tail end of my career. I'm like, whoa, bro, don't you have 3 more years?
Yeah.
It reminds me of Kobe's last 2 years. But we kind of knew Kobe was out the door just because of the injuries. But LeBron, with the injury and just kind of like the way he came into LA and the way he's kind of been controlling his narrative, I don't see his narrative as I'm still the GOAT. I kind of seen it like I'm the GOAT, but I want to hand the keys off. I'm passing Jordan. I moved into the top 10 in assists and scoring, and check me out. Look at my resume, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that's not the case because we're going to be stuck with him. I think this is like the end is coming quick.
I kind of feel like a good comparison of his career right now is Clayton Kershaw. He's falling down from his peak years. He's still good enough. He's still throwing hard, not that hard. He's throwing in the 90s now. And LeBron is still playing hard, but he just doesn't have that flight that he used to have.
Yeah.
So I kind of compare it to Clayton Kershaw. And I heard too that yesterday when he passed Jordan, the reception from the fans was kind of lukewarm. It was kind of like, hey, yeah, we appreciate history and all that, but it wasn't that great. It was kind of like just, all right, you're a Laker right now, so we're giving you an ovation because we respect it. It's kind of like a little farewell, like you're saying, and he's just kind of bouncing around and look at me, I've got my numbers, I'm on Space Jam 2, I got this show going on, I'm on HBO, on The Shop, I got this. Like it kind of seems like he's focused on I even tweeted it, I said he's more concerned with his accolades, personal accolades, and entertainment at this point.
Yeah.
No,
for sure.
Greg always says that he doesn't say it, but he kind of says, I hope that we don't have Michael Jordan on the Wizards as compared to LeBron and the Lakers.
Yes, that would be terrible because Jordan on the Wizards was not Jordan at all.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. If you could fill in the right guys around him, he won't have to be he won't have to be MJ. He won't have to be LeBron from the Cavs.
Right.
Right. He won't have to be that. If 80% LeBron is still amazing, he's still better than 90% of the league at that point.
Yep.
I think the farewell tour is something that's kind of occurring right now. And sorry, I kind of have to get a little sanitizer in my hands because I'm addicted to it. He had that great accomplishment. Obviously, yesterday, I don't want to dismiss the fact that he did move past Michael Jordan, on the all-time scoring list, especially since he's not a scorer. I've never been a LeBron guy, and I say that all the time. I mean, dude has put up some stats, and he's done some amazing things, and especially for the community and all that stuff. And I give him so much props for all that stuff because I've never seen an athlete who's just been so clean in the public eye. Like the crap that we get on him about is stupid stuff like swiping his hand away from Mo Wags on a play and the pouting and the huffing and puffing and the media stuff. Other than that, you don't really hear his name in it. With that whole thing going down, he got a lot of praise today from Rajon Rondo. Rondo came out today on Instagram and put everything to rest, and he said, let me help y'all out. Since everyone wants to overanalyze, gaslight, and overinterpret situations, let me help y'all with your due diligence. The real story that everyone should be talking about right now is how my teammate LeBron James accomplished a huge milestone in last night's game. What he had accomplished in this game shows where hard work, dedication, and perseverance can take you. It shows little kids that don't come from privilege that success is attainable. It shows that no one can tell you how great you can be. Y'all are so busy analyzing what happened in the last 48 seconds of the game that y'all missed the opportunity to highlight, congratulate, and praise LeBron wholeheartedly on his accomplishment. Most of y'all have made a career out of discussing LeBron James, like us, and y'all can't pay the man some respect. Since y'all missed it, let me do it publicly. Congratulations, LeBron, on everything. You deserve all the success and happiness that God and the universe has to offer. Congratulations, my brother. Keep being great. Where do you stand with everything that happened? To me, it was a non-issue, the whole Rondo incident yesterday.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was an issue either. He said he's done it before. He's done it at least 10 times, he said, during the season. Yeah. And he's just upset that for some reason we had to point it out during LeBron's special moment. And he kind of, went to the front office and they spoke about it. And I guess they were going to fine him. But after him speaking to them about it and telling them, like, it's not a big deal, I've done it before, I don't think it's a big deal either. I think it's just the media, making it bigger than it really is. Yesterday I saw his press conference. He did say something that kind of caught me off guard. He said, they asked him about the LeBron thing, and his quote was something like, it was just a great player passing up another great player. Mm-hmm. Like, kind of not making it a big deal. Like right now, there's this caption that you wrote from his Instagram. That was huge, and he was kind of praising LeBron about it. Yeah. And, and saying all the good things he's done and all that. But why didn't he say that yesterday during his press conference, his interview, instead of just saying, oh, it was just a great player passing up another great player, not a big deal? Yeah. No. I don't know. I think Rondo is he's got a short fuse, and I think at this point with age has come wisdom with him, and I think at this point he's kind of realized that maybe it's not the best for me to talk when I'm in this role, when I'm in this mode, because I can't even imagine when he went into the locker room and the first thing that they were asking him was, hey man, what's up with you sitting over on the side of the bench? I can't even imagine how upset he got. Plus they got smoked on top of that, right? So mm-hmm. I mean, that's kind of where I don't really think I think it's a non-issue. I don't think it was really that big. I think it's just something that the media took and said, oh, and I think it was all those national media guys who don't watch the Lakers on a consistent basis. I think you said like Michelle Beadle and all that. Michelle, I love you. Don't tell my wife. But and don't tell Adele's wife because he'll tell my wife. Hey. Yeah, I just think it's that national media that just, they get glimpses here and there of us and they're like, oh my God, and we know what Rondo is and all this stuff. But I think Rondo's been great. But we're kind of running up against the clock a little bit right now. We got about 5 minutes left. We're going to kind of go into our Chalk Talk now, and I'm going to let you lead off with your Chalk Talk, bro. Yeah, so my Chalk Talk is going to be about all these fanboys that go on Twitter, and as soon as someone does something good, they go into their Twitter account and they dig deep. I'm talking about deep in years, like 5 to 10 years into their tweets, and they start bringing out old tweets talking about what they've said before, that it might be racial or it might be homosexual or something like that, talking about drugs or whatever it is. I can't stand the people going into people's tweets and like kind of dissecting them, and if they were 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, like obviously Twitter was around for a long time now. It frustrates me that you putting down someone else on Twitter for an old tweet when they're doing good, Yeah. When they're doing bad, you don't care. You're not looking up their tweets. You're not looking up what they've said in the past. So it kind of bothers me when people do that and put these guys on blast. Like, for instance, the Kevin Hart thing when he was going to host the Oscars, and that came out. But the reason why I say that is because just recently I got like I got a bunch of likes on this tweet that I wrote about a year ago. And the tweet was, actually it wasn't a year ago, it was the summer. LeBron James was coming to the Lakers, and some people were saying, this is one specific person was saying, LeBron and the Lakers are not even going to sniff the playoffs. And obviously all Laker fans took that personal, and I tweeted back and said something like, this Laker team with LeBron is better than the Cavs team with LeBron. And I started comparing the players, and here we are today. What's today? Where are we? In
March 7th.
March 7th. And that tweet's coming back from last summer, and they're pointing it out at me, and I'm getting people bashing me and laughing at my tweet, and I'm not mad at it. It's funny to me, but it's like, come on, man. Like, that was a year ago in the summer, whatever. Obviously, I said what I said, and people say what they say, but don't throw that shit in my face. You know what I mean?
Hey,
I'm
dude,
salty. I'm salty.
A little bit. Salt Bay, right?
A little bit.
You gotta do the Salt Bay, bro. Salt it
bit.
up. Yeah, no, I completely get you. My Chalk Talk is actually going to be something similar. My Chalk Talk is just about the whole blocking thing on Twitter, on Instagram, and all that stuff. When these dudes who are, we're public figures. I mean, and I don't want to say we're a public figure specifically, me and you. Hopefully we will be. You got these guys who are like in Lakers Twitter world and all that stuff. They have a little bit of equity with the Laker Twitterverse, right? Yep. You got these big name guys who they're people look to them on Twitter to get insight on Lakers or hear their opinion or whatever the case is. And I'm not even talking about like the big name guys. I'm talking about even lower level guys. I recently had an issue where, well, not even much of an issue, but I had somebody who blocked me on Twitter. I didn't even know he blocked me on Twitter because, I go on Twitter, but I spend most of my time on Instagram just because of Lakers Raw. But he blocked me on Twitter. And I didn't even know. He DM'd me on Instagram and said, "Hey, bro, I had to block you. It's nothing personal. I just can't have you spam me." I guess spamming him is tagging him in something because I wanted to get his opinion on it. To me, I kind of like, there was two things. So when he mentioned that to me, my first instinct was just to say, F this guy, right? Mm-hmm. But after that, I try to take a step back because it's so easy to get lost in social media. Right. So I kind of took a step back and I said, okay, so what can I say? So, I asked him a question just to kind of get more insight on what happened or, why he did what he did. And then I kind of just told him, look, man, in my opinion, I would have easily just not tagged you in anything anymore. If you would have just shot me a DM and say, "Hey, bro, maybe you want to take a step back." And by far was I not spamming him, in my opinion. I might have put him like in 3 tweets in the last like week or so. 3 tweets. I don't think that's anything crazy. He said what he said. I told him how I felt, and I said, you could have easily just shot me a DM, and I would have easily. And I told him, I respect you. You're one of the first people that I kind of started following on Twitter and all that stuff. And he, honestly, this cat, and I'm not going to mention him just because I don't want to bring any like negativity to it, because in my eyes, I don't have a problem with him. I definitely don't have a problem with him anymore. Well, not anymore. I never really had a problem with him, but to me, I kind of shot it. He was completely open. He honestly, he was very receptive. I didn't know how he was going to take what I said, but I even told him, I think to me, the whole blocking thing is it's pretty petty. Because at that point, it's like we're on Twitter because we want to be heard. If you don't want to be heard, you kind of need to write in a diary, not on Twitter. But that's not something I said to him, but that's in my opinion. That's kind of how I always felt. So I just, I said what I said, and I told him, I think it's kind of petty, but to each his own. I respect you. There's nothing personal. I'm not taking it in a personal level. And he actually came back and said, "Wow, you're right." And he actually unblocked me. He unblocked me from Twitter, and I wasn't trying to get unblocked because honestly, like I said, I didn't even know I was blocked until he mentioned it to me.
Right.
But he's not even the first person. I've had other people in the past who I've mentioned them, and they've told me stuff like, "Hey, man, I don't want you. Can you mind taking me off your thing because I don't feel like being my mentions being littered with your posts and all that stuff." And it's the way people go about it, And I know, and I think we all know, without even mentioning people, who's like notorious for this kind of stuff, right? Yeah. To me, that's one of the biggest beefs I have on social media. I just think the fact that we're on social media and it's easy to get behind a keyboard. It's just real easy to kind of get lost in the fact that it is reality and people are coming to us or people are coming to them because they want insight. They value your opinion. And I think that's good. I think people valuing your opinion is what it's all about, right?
Yep.
So, that's just something I wanted to get off my chest. But like I said, to each his own. I just feel like there's plenty of space for all of us on Twitter, on Instagram. I think there's plenty of space in the Laker universe for all of us to share our opinion, and I don't think there's got to be any beef or any problems with it. I encourage it, man. I'm not that guy who's going to talk smack and then I'm going to back down when I see you. If anything, I'll probably double down twice.
Hey,
what I say is what I say, and if
there you go.
In real life, bro, you can't unblock me. And I'm not talking about like handling, putting hands around anybody, but I'm just saying I got no problem addressing somebody verbally.
Oh, I thought you were trying to meet up in Temecula.
Oh, we could meet up in Temecula too. Don't get that twisted. We'll meet up maybe not Temecula because that's kind of far.
Okay.
Maybe Santa Monica.
Okay, that'll work.
But yeah, that's my chalk talk. I had to get that off my chest. That's gonna sum it up for us on this episode of Bulletin Board Material, episode number 14.
Yes, sir.
With Ray El Barbon and Adel Del Toro.
Check 1 2.
Check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 3. So we're gonna go ahead and sign off. Again, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram. You can catch Adel on Twitter at Audeezy with 2 E's and an underscore following that, AUDEEZY. You can follow him on Instagram under AUDEEZY. EEEZY _
Yes, sir.
Right, you can follow me on the BulletinBoardMaterial.com. I got different handles, so just go on there and click on whatever you want to follow me on and subscribe. Again, we're not big name people, so if you're listening to us, we appreciate it. We're not professionals. We're not NBA insiders or anything. We're just two guys who love the Lakers, and we want to share our opinions, and we just want to hopefully voice some of your opinions and some of your concerns and some of your thoughts. So you guys can follow us, hit subscribe on it, check us out on Instagram, check us out on Twitter. You can follow us on YouTube if you want to catch the actual video to the podcast. We're on Spotify, we're on Stitcher Radio, we're on Anchor, we're on, what else am I missing here? iTunes. I feel like I'm missing something.
Spotify for that one?
Yeah, Spotify, Google Podcasts as well. You can catch us on that. So, we're all over the place. Hopefully you guys will be on board, and we love feedback. We're brainstorming a Lakers Raw podcast as well pretty soon, so hopefully we got good news with that up in the upcoming weeks. And at that point, hopefully we can kind of get all of you guys to join in on that as well. And if you're not already following Lakers Raw, you definitely should. It's a great platform. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. Lakers Raw is the for sure. And that's all I got to say. Anything you want to say before we get off, Adele?
Yeah, let's make this sign off official. Ooh. Ready to break on this? So let's go with Cancun on 3. Cancun on 3. 1, 2, 3. Cancun.